Hello, my name is Haley Zahn, and this is my happiness quest. As you can see here, this is my older sister Lauren, and she lives in London. I was fortunate enough to be able to FaceTime her for some quality bonding time, and at first we had trouble connecting, but then we were finally able to. But then, of course, we lost connection once more. We were finally able to connect, and we talked about her recent trips to Amsterdam and how she was able to visit the really cool Van Gogh Museum. And we also talked about her upcoming trip to the Harry Potter sets, and we expressed our passion for Harry Potter. And although she's a Gryffindor and I'm a Slytherin, that I still love her. And I told her nothing would beat our trip to Universal, because that trip was taken with me. Lauren then went on to describe her amazing journey in London and her PR internship, and how she gets to work with some pretty amazing companies like Vogue, and some pretty important people as well. Finally, I had the chance to talk about myself and my new apartment that I just moved into. And she knew how big of a struggle it was to put my IKEA furniture together. I was also able to tell her about my amazing trip here at Full Sail, and how much I loved my classes and getting to know my teachers so far. My sister has always been one of my best friends, and when she was home, I always used to call her, and she would always be the first person I would want to talk to if something was wrong. Unfortunately, it's hard to talk to her when she's so far away, so being able to FaceTime her is something I always look forward to every week. And after my first week of school, I definitely wanted to be able to talk to her about my experiences and what I've been going through. And I cannot wait until my best friend is back in the States. I would not be the woman I am today if it wasn't for my friends. I've been truly grateful for some amazing people that God has put in my life. They've always been here through thick and thin, and they've always been here to support me. Although I never could fully thank them enough, to show my gratitude, I love painting them hand-painted crafts, as well as hand-drawing some of their favorite things that they love. But I cannot thank God enough for my family. And I am so grateful that my family has always been there to support my goals and my dreams. And it's hard to thank them enough for everything that they do, but I thank them almost every day, and I share my love with them. There is one person that I am extremely grateful for, and that person is my father. He has always been there, and he's always supported my hopes and my dreams, and I hope that one day he knows how grateful I am of him. Kindness can be expressed in several different ways. I believe that there is no bad time to be kind to someone. One of my favorite acts of kindness is being philanthropic. At my old college, I was a member of Alpha Omicron Pi fraternity. Through this fraternity, we had several opportunities to be philanthropic. Every chance I had, I would participate in these events and serve my community. There is something so powerful about giving back to others. I love sharing my kindness with others, especially through my friendships, and that I believe makes a true and definite friendship. It's just being kind, and that's why I believe that kindness is just the root of happiness. Beauty is all around us. It is in the flowers, it can be found in the hills, it can be as close as cities, or reach as far as the oceans. But where I find the most beauty is in people. People are the most beautiful creatures. Along with my gratitude, I take the time to let my friends and family know how much I appreciate their beauty and excellence. I try to give them compliments any chance I get, and I also show that with my love as well. As an artist, I also like to take the time to appreciate the excellence and beauty in artwork. I do this by going to exhibits or purchasing tickets and DVDs to my favorite movies and my favorite artists. This happiness quest was one of the most challenging but most rewarding for me. I decided to pay it forward and buy someone Starbucks. The first night I went, I actually waited about 15 minutes in the drive-thru. So I figured this would be plenty of time for someone to pull up behind me, right? Wrong. Unfortunately, I was not able to buy someone Starbucks the first night, but I was determined to make someone's day a little bit brighter. I finally went back the next day, and I waited for about another 10 minutes until someone finally pulled up behind me. I was so ecstatic to pull up to the window and pay for it. After I paid for the drink, I asked the barista just to do me a favor. I asked her to just tell the young man to have a nice day from me to him. As I pulled away, I could see his face light up when she handed him his drink and that he did not have to pay for it. This made me ecstatic, and I was extremely excited to do my next good deed. For my next act of kindness, I wanted to make someone's day a little brighter with a kind and encouraging note. After my first act of kindness, I had this amazing rush go through my body, and I was on the hunt for my next victim. I finally found the perfect target. One of the reasons why I picked this person's car was because of the United States Marine Corps sticker. I was assuming that they were either a veteran or a wife or a husband of a veteran. I waited and waited and waited and watched as this bird pooped on this car, and then I was excited to see this lady walk by. But this was not her car. I waited for another 2.5 hours until this woman pulls up and opens the door to her car. She pulls out the note from her window and starts to read it, and all I can see is a smile on her face, and that is all I needed to feel a warm and fuzzy feeling inside. Unfortunately, by the time the woman pulled up, my phone had died. But I was so excited to be able to do these 2 random acts of kindness. I don't know why, but I felt this huge rush go over me, and I was so excited, and it just made me feel really good about myself. And I figured I need to start learning how to do more random acts of kindness because of the way I felt, and I want others to be happy. And in the end, that is all that matters to me, is that if everyone else is happy around me, I will be happy too. And I also believe that if everyone else does random acts of kindness, then the world will be a much happier place. PERMA is a positive psychology model created by Martin Seligman. The PERMA model is made up of 5 elements to have a long-lasting well-being. These elements include positive emotion, engagement, positive relationships, meaning, and achievement. To start my journey of creating a long-lasting well-being, I need to learn how to create more positive emotions. Positive emotions mean to me less stress and more optimism. I want to achieve this by meditating and practicing yoga. This has always been a great way for me to relieve my stress and feel better with life and be more optimistic. For my plan of long-lasting well-being, I want to learn how to laugh more as well. Along with meditating and yoga, I want to learn how to play with my friends, and I believe that this will help my happiness quest and a longer-lasting well-being. Engagement is the second element of the PERMA model. Engagement not only means being engaged with friends and family, it also means being engaged with the community as well. For my path, I want to stay involved with my fraternity. I hope to stay in contact with my sisters, as well as donating my time to alum chapters. Being a member of Alpha Omicron Pi is something that I have missed being involved with while attending Full Sail. I hope in the near future that staying engaged will help my journey for a long-lasting well-being. I would also love to get involved with the Foundation Make-A-Wish and Give the Kids the World. I've actually worked with a little bit of these companies before while I was an entertainment cast member at Walt Disney World Company. It was always a joy to see these wonderful kids with a smile on their faces even after all they've been through. I will never have the courage that these kids have, and it has inspired me to involve myself with these companies. I want to be engaged and share my compassion with others. I've always found my flow state of mind when doing charitable work, so I believe that this will help me on my path of well-being. The third element of the PERMA model is having positive relationships. Seligman describes having positive relationships as having meaningful and healthy relationships with family, friends, coworkers, and neighbors. For my personal path of well-being, I believe that this is the most important element of Seligman's described in his PERMA model. It is important for me to have positive relationships with my loved ones because they have and will always be my support system. It is important to me to maintain positive relationships with my parents and sisters because they've always been there and they've always been here since day one, and I would not be the person I am today without them. It is important to me when the time comes to maintain positive relationships with future coworkers and future bosses. Maintaining positive relationships is not only important for my career, but I also believe that you need positive relationships to create teamwork. Relationships are very important to me. So in order to maintain positive relationships means having a positive emotions and learning how to control them. Meaning is the fourth element of the PERMA model. According to Martin Seligman, meaning means doing something bigger than yourself. He states that this can be found in random acts of kindness, volunteering, finding meaning in your job or your family, and or religious activities. To improve my well-being and stay on a long-lasting path to it, I want to be able to find meaning with my religious beliefs. Although I have not found a church here in Florida yet, I do wish to find a church, and I know that if I pray and meditate hard enough, I can find the meaning of my religious beliefs. I also want to find meaning in giving back to the world, and now completing the Random Acts of Kindness Challenge, I hope to continue that. I know I can achieve this by pushing myself and looking at the bigger picture in life, and I hope to find this in my life and love and happiness with others. Achievement is the final element of the PERMA model. Solomon described this as an achieving a goal, mastering a skill, and or accomplishing a task someone starts out to do. I believe that this is an important element to the PERMA model because you need all of the four elements to create and achieve a long-lasting well-being. I strive to find love and find people to share my love with. I want to find a special someone and create a happy family. In order to achieve my goal of finding a love and a family, I need positive emotions, I need to be engaged, as well as establishing a positive relationship with my loved ones and family. With achieving love and family, I would also like to be happy, whether that means I travel down a path that I have set as a goal or the unknown. I want to achieve happiness by using the PERMA model. These elements will lead me on a long-lasting journey to wellness.